so let me introduce myself first. Jason Kohler. I'm Eaton's deputy CISO. Does anybody know what Eaton does? If I ask the question.
It's
No?
a conglomerate that makes lots of different things and things.
So we are in 120 countries. We have 92,000 employees. We're located in Cleveland, Ohio. We make over 1 million products. Probably some products in here are Eaton products. We do outlets. We do UPSs. We make stuff for aerospace. We're a government contractor. We support the electrical grid. We support data centers. So we're really big in the AI space when it comes to supporting it, helping it grow. Being able to continually fit in that space has been an unbelievable growth space for us. So my role at Eaton, as I said, as a deputy CISO, is I'm responsible for the incident response team, threat intelligence team, and the security engineering. I also sit on our AI steering committee as part of helping develop and grow AI in the organization. My topics for today, we're going to be a lot about what Kevin talked about, and Tony talked about. I'm going to pivot a little bit here and talk about some additional things that not only using AI, but securing AI. They talked about the good, the bad, and the ugly. What I want to talk about more is the good side of it, and then how are we securing it going forward. Everybody knows about ChatGPT. Everybody knows about every generative AI solution out there. I think I last counted the other day when we were looking at it. When it comes to shadow IT, it's probably around 4,000 to 5,000 different versions of generative AI out there that my employees are looking at. I have 92,000 employees across 160 countries. I have to deal with governance across China, EMEA, you name the country. I'm trying to work on making sure that we're allowed to use it in those spaces. I'm not going to go through every single slide here, but I think what I want to talk about is really how are we harnessing it? How are we pivoting it as an organization? You know, Tony talked about the different types of jobs, and we're already looking at it. We have an individual on our team that is already doing penetration testing for AI solutions. Anytime, just like an application used to go live before, if there's a new AI solution that we've created in our environment, we're penetration testing it, making sure it doesn't have any prompt injection possibilities or the training bias or something like that. We did our recent one internally, and we were able to get to, after 27 prompts, information about Michael Jordan winning a championship. And that had nothing to do with the products. But we were able to get to that, and we had to go train it again, make sure that everything was okay. I think a big piece here, again, I'm going to try and stay away from the slides as much. But when I hire people out of college, most of them are tech engineers. Communication is not their strong suit. Tony talked about being able to talk to your business, being able to help them understand what you're doing. Generative AI has been very helpful for that. Helping people communicate to their peers, their stakeholders, if an incident occurs, helping them understand what's going on. Because when people start typing bits and bytes, the business is falling asleep and really doesn't care. They just want to know when they're going to be able to get back up and running. How are they going to operate the business and how are they going to go forward? Tony also talked about, where do we see our company or where do we see jobs? Both of these guys in front of me were companies who are doing cybersecurity services, but I will say this, we do have cybersecurity services provided to us. Most of the problems are human. When it comes to analyzing the events, when it comes to reporting, when it comes to documentation, AI is going to do an amazing job of being able to do that for us. It's going to have access to all the tools, pull that data in for you, report it, document every step it's going to take, and then move it over to us as an organization to be able to put it on. You're going to see more and more people being as part of AI engineering when it comes to AI for the SOC engineer, AI for threat intelligence engineer, AI for governance engineering. Those are going to be the roles in the organization going forward. You're going to see our security analysts not only just doing their job, but they're going to be managing agentic agents. So you're going to have many SOC managers across the organization now. Instead of one analyst doing one thing, he's going to be doing 10, because he's going to be managing and tuning the agents going forward to ensure that they're I will also tell you this is one of the biggest pieces, and I'm gonna go back to this page here is securing the deployment of AI. That's probably my biggest challenge. You talked about shadow IT before. It's an absolute nightmare. There's so many out there. How do you protect your company from them while allowing them to use it? Eaton's an AI company first. God, I hear that everywhere, but we really are. We opened up our AI usage. We have to protect them. We use things like Copilot, Microsoft Copilot. How do you protect them? You have to get down to actually, which is becoming a privacy issue, but you have to monitor everybody's prompts. So it becomes a big question. What's the difference between someone doing a Google search versus now they're doing a prompt search and they're getting results back? We have to monitor everyone, see is there inappropriate use, is there data being posted outside of the company? How do we make sure that we're continuing to protect them? But we also have to allow the user to do it. I heard Tony having a conversation during the break that users are using AI regardless if you give them access to it or not. Same problem with companies. If you don't give them access to it, they're going home on their home PC, doing the same work that they should be doing on their work PC. I grew up in the age of, as I started in cybersecurity, we could stop everything. We could block everything. Let's prevent everything from working, from bad guys getting in. Everything's going to be okay. That's not the reality. Have to allow people to have access. If you don't give them access, if you don't give them visibility, you as an organization are creating. And that's what we've decided to do is continually open things up and implement DLP as part of our solutions. Data loss protection, allowing people to use it, but not pushing data up that's related to our company when it's either highly restricted or confidential. I think the other piece of it is we as a company are building our own AI to use in our products and to support our customers. So how do you secure them? You have to look at your large language models. You have to scan them just like you're scanning for vulnerabilities before and past for your web application. Is that model safe? Does it have any vulnerabilities? Can it be exploited for prompt injection? Then the new thing is you have all these agents, right? You're building out these agents to do things. How are you securing them? And that's one of the toughest parts. You'd be able to secure human agents before, or some non-human agents, but now you have to secure the agents that are doing the jobs. And that's a tough thing that we're working through now, because you have developers that are creating agents right out of Azure or GCP or Palantir or name your solution, and it's just running. And there's no guardrails or guidelines around that. You can have basic stuff that's built in the tools, but there's nothing out there yet that we've been able to identify. It's really been able to tie all this together. There's definitely companies who are working through this and trying to build this out. Again, a lot of startups that are working through this. But I think this is the big piece that we have to work through and really secure it going. One of the stats I heard from a company, again, I'm not going to walk through slides here because you guys all said everything before me. I was at a conference last week, and one of the amazing things as I was talking with my peers was the ability to build exploits now by adversaries is unbelievable. It used to take weeks, months, even sometimes years. And I talked to some experts at some very big tech companies, and they had visibility into it's taking minutes, hours, and the cost is $1. $1 to build an exploit, where it used to take so much longer. And we're dealing with this, and the only way we can deal with it is using AI moving forward as part of our job. I see this as, people talk about the evolution of security and the evolution of what we're doing in cyber. And I go back to my early days when I first got into the cybersecurity a long time ago. Got floppy disk. Well, hopefully you guys probably didn't know what floppy disk was. I ask my kids sometimes, what is the floppy disk at? And I go, like, this looks like. I mean, you used to use that, or they'd be like, you used to use rotary phones, and you have to. We asked my daughter the one day we brought an old phone and we asked her to turn the dial, and she couldn't figure out how to turn the dial on the phone to dial the phone number. It's similar to the floppy disk, but anyways, dating myself. You had the invention of the computer, you have the invention of the phone, and you have the invention of AI. It is just, I mean, the iPhone. I have never seen anything in my company been adopted so fast because of the use and how much it can help you process. And I think as organizations continue to try to secure this, it's only going to get worse. You guys talked about some threats. I can't get into some of them because of the company, but we are starting to see where they're embedding prompts in emails. So if you get an email and you have something like Copilot installed in your environment, it's using white font, putting those prompts in there. So even when you get the email, it's asking the prompt to already start exfilling data. So that's one of the first things we started to see more of. I would imagine, and I actually probably can see it happen as well. Over probably the next 1 to 2 years, adversaries are going to start building their own large language models to deploy to your PC and gather information to exploit them. It's only a matter of time. And security companies are not trying to keep up, but it's really hard. We are behind the 8 ball on this. AI is being used so quickly that it's really hard for us to keep up as an organization, and we have to pivot over. Yes.
So there have to be some user interaction to execute the prompt in the email, so that
No, it's built in. It's built in and it's already looking for it as you get the email.
So the receipt of the email or the
Receipt and open. You have to open it up.
So you have to interact with it.
Yeah, there's no interaction that's required. Nope.
You have to open it, but you don't have to click anything.
You don't have to click anything. That's correct. Yes.
Are you okay, me?
Oh yeah. You.
So I'm not in cybersecurity, but
Okay.
I'm learning about AI.
Yes.
My organization, what is the point of all of this? If it's all just gonna get worse, I mean, isn't there a way to just not be on the cloud, go back to something that's
That's
all
the.
the effort and time and environmental
Then I would lose my
impact?
job, right? If I went back to, as
Well,
I tell people all the
other
time,
people
let's
are
kill the
losing their
internet
job.
and
Other
go
people
back
are
to
losing their
using
job.
floppy disk.
So
Um,
I really like just sitting here listening to you all talk about it, and from what I've learned about it, it just seems like, what is the point?
I think it's an amazing technology. It's great. I'm trying to adopt it as much as I can. I get my kids, both my kids go to Ohio State and they use ChatGPT, and I have to tell them, you have to learn how to do this. Every job that we are hiring now has the word AI. If you can't use it, people are just not going to hire you.
Oh, yeah, I understand from
Yeah.
the hiring perspective,
Yeah.
but more of a human species perspective. Like, what is the point?
So I love it. Like, I'm in security and I'm adopting it as fast as I can so I can learn. I have my own lab at home where I have a bad AI and a good AI, and I'm trying to them attack each other to figure out who's going to win, and then figure out how we can learn from that from an organization perspective. Yes, go ahead.
My concern's a bit on data governance, because how do you protect any institution's data if everybody's just dumping everything into some random model? I mean, come on. Even if you do some contract with Copilot, can you truly trust their infrastructure? All of
Doesn't
your
everybody
most sensitive.
Doesn't everybody trust Microsoft?
Oh, yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, that's my
It's a
concern.
valid point. I think you need to do the best that you can and put the guardrails in place, right? If you try and, out of the box solutions are going to protect you from uploading PII, uploading certain standard information that they can see, then you as an organization have to understand what's important to you, put guardrails around that, make sure they don't get uploaded or shared.
So the most sensitive
Yeah,
data.
so Microsoft has something similar to that, where they look at all that stuff and then they can block it. But it's also building environments to make sure everything stays in-house and doesn't go outside. Yes.
So in terms of AI and shadow IT, would you say that it's better to create and self-host your own AI to prevent this like shadow IT issue, as opposed to like kind of going the route of cloud providers?
So that's a big.
We have contracted out.
I see things like that all the time. There's peaks and valleys. It's like, oh, we need to put everything in a data center, so it's all ours. And as everything's in the cloud, and I think eventually it's going to go back to everything's in a data center. But as an organization like, for example, our job is not to build those types of AIs. Our job is to make product. So we don't want to spend time trying to manage our own AI. So we want other people to do that for us, so we can build our products and get it out. Yes.
Well, and if you do build your own AI system, you have to secure that and you need
It's
to have
like, yeah, it goes back
experts.
to the old days of building your own applications.
Yeah.
Trying to supply that.
Definitely.
Oh, any other questions?
So my question for you is, given the breadth of Eaton,
Yes.
okay, and the depth, where do you guys see your biggest challenge? Is it on more of the sophisticated things like the prompts in the email? Or maybe some of the older school things of, just click this email, because you guys are in so many countries, so many people. Where do you see it?
I think it's right now, it's not in the email. It's in the shadow IT, use of AI without the guardrails around it, and it's eventually gonna be, and I don't wanna scare people, but it's gonna be the robots running the factories. Because that's already a thought down the road.
That's a good point.
How do you bring those in to do automated tasks in your environment? The Optimus, the other things, there's companies out there already building robots for manufacturing. There's already things out there with Industry 4.0, but literal robots who are going to help or make your products. Yes, question. Good, I'm glad. This is what I wanted to be interactive so you guys can, I don't want to talk about the same topics that Tony.
With your organization side, this might be, the size of your organization, this may be something that you're talking about, but the question is, are you tracking the potential of brand or reputation attacks
Yes,
through social media driven by AI?
yes. So we track, not only they mentioned we track it on our social media, we track it on the dark web, track it pretty much anywhere our brand monitoring comes to us. Yes.
I know a lot of companies have been rushing to implement AI. We've seen news articles recently that a lot of those early initiatives are failing. And it sounds like at Eaton, you guys have been successful at deploying and implementing these things at scale. What do you see has been the keys to the way you've approached it at Eaton that have allowed Eaton to be successful with their?
So what we have done is really modeled ourselves after NIST. And used the NIST framework, build a steering committee, having governance around it, having people submit ideas, really providing awareness. Awareness is key to helping this drive forward, but it's governance, awareness, and then if we catch you, pushing them back to where they need to go. Yes.
I have a quick question. I was just curious, you mentioned penetration testing. So given like that LLMs are non-deterministic, what does penetration testing look like? Like what do you?
Yeah, I've been out of the technical side of things for a while. So like, I can really create a good PowerPoint, but not really good on the technical side anymore. But what we've done is we've built it out doing, prompt engineering around it as far as the large language models, scanning for vulnerabilities. One of the keys is now is your things like Azure, Palantir, all these other ones, they have built-in models now, and they're not doing any scanning of them. So we're trying to scan all those, allow our organization to use them quickly and get through that process. Yes.
It's actually a better question for a sidebar, but how do you reconcile these identified known nuanced vulnerabilities with potential disclaimers in your cybersecurity insurance policies?
That's a good question. I mean, something just came out yesterday. I don't know if you guys are paying attention, and maybe this isn't related to it, but Land Rover was hit and they were losing, I think, someone said like $4 billion after all of this, and one of it was related to their insurance companies. And what they're arguing, AI has not come up on insurance yet. I would imagine this next insurance questionnaire will probably come up with that, but that has not been a big topic. Yes.
We do get regular questionnaires about AI.
Oh, you do?
For insurance stuff.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't seen it yet, but I would imagine probably next time as the 2025 comes around. And then it's a question of, do you get cybersecurity?
I don't make that decision.
I know, but it is a question now, is how much is it worth to pay for the insurance versus self-insuring yourself going forward? There's always that. It's starting to come up as part of organizations now. Should we get it? And it's getting a lot harder to get cybersecurity.
All right, this is a great one. Great.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you so much.
I'm saying,